Good morning, this is Francesca Evans from LymeOnline, bringing you a roundup of this week's top stories from the local area. Lyme Regis Museum is one of more than 1,300 organisations across the country to benefit from government funding to protect the cultural, heritage and arts sectors. Over the course of the coronavirus pandemic, theatres and museums have suffered from a severe cut in visitors, putting many at risk of closure. To assist, 1,385 theatres, museums, performance groups and arts organisations across England will receive a share of £257 million from the government as part of its Culture Recovery Fund. This includes £3.6 million for 14 organisations in Dorset, with Lyme Regis Museum receiving £600,000. The museum reopened in September after a 5-month closure due to coronavirus, but is limited in the number of visitors it can welcome at any one time. The attraction will celebrate its 100th anniversary next year, and Museum Director David Tucker said the grant will help to weather the storm and preserve Lyme's heritage for a further 100 years. There were no funds forthcoming for Lyme's other main cultural attraction, the Marine Theatre, which has remained largely closed since March. However, further rounds of funding in the cultural and heritage sectors are due to be announced in the coming weeks. Plans for a new primary school in Lyme that would provide 21st century education for pupils have been given the final go-ahead. The provision of a new primary school for Lyme has been a long-held ambition at Mrs Ethelston's. Outline planning permission was granted in 2016 and the final green light was given last week despite some fears over highway safety. Concerns have been raised that the access to the proposed new school building off Lyme Road would cause safety issues at the petrol station directly opposite, with suggestions that this could result in closure of the petrol station and associated shop and post office. But Highways Authority Devon County Council raised no objection to the proposal. The existing primary school in Lyme has occupied its current site since 1854, and whilst the premises has been extended and altered over the years, it is no longer suitable to provide a modern curriculum. The new primary school will be able to accommodate 210 children, an increase of 25 on the current building. An innovative landscape scheme will provide the children with a stimulating environment for outdoor learning and creative play, whilst the provision of an all-weather surface and a multifunctional hall will ensure PE will take place in all seasons. Lyme Regis has been revealed as one of the most expensive coastal locations to move to, according to a new study by the website Compare My Move. Increasing numbers of people are looking to ditch their lives in the city and relocate, especially in light of the coronavirus pandemic, with many choosing to move closer to the coast. But Lyme Regis has been ranked the 9th most expensive coastal location to move to in the UK, with an average house price of $444,000. It was listed among affluent areas of Dorset, such as Sandbanks, ranked the most expensive coastal location with an average house price of £1.24 million. And Studland placed second with an average property price of $850,000. The website ranked more than 150 coastal locations on factors such as average house price, sunshine and beach ratings to identify the best places to relocate by the sea. The top 3 were Whitstable in Kent, Seaford near Brighton and Swanage in Dorset. Lyme Regis was ranked 103rd best coastal town to relocate to. It scored 4.7 out of 5 for its beach, but was let down by high property prices and low average wages. Former Lyme Regis lifeboatman Ian Kentfield is preparing to row the Atlantic Ocean next March in aid of the Ellen MacArthur Sailing Trust. Ian will be nearly 61 when he takes on the 2,650 nautical mile challenge from the Canary Islands to Antigua in the West Indies. He'll be rowing in a 40-foot specially designed boat with 11 teammates and is expected to complete the voyage in 35 to 40 days. Ian hopes to raise £20,000 for the Ellen MacArthur Sailing Trust, which supports young people who have gone through cancer treatment by taking them on sailing trips. You can find out more and donate to Ian's fundraising appeal at the website shown on screen now. Lyme Regis photographer Rob Coombe is publishing a book of portraits taken during lockdown to raise money for the local food bank. Taken under socially distanced conditions, the photographs capture the townsfolk as they cope with the changes and challenges of everyday life during the peak of lockdown. The portraits show everything from people in their homes to virtual dance classes, the weekly clap for carers and delivering free dinners to NHS workers. Printed by Dorchester-based Advantage Digital Print, all profits from sales of the book will go to Lyme Regis Food Bank, which is said to now be in more need than ever. You can order your copy by emailing Rob Coombe on the address shown on screen now by October 26th. And now for local sport. With the first team having played just one game this season, all the early running at Lyme Regis Football Club is being made by Lyme Rovers, the third 11 made up of youngsters getting their first taste of men's football and older players wishing to step down a level. Managed by Rob Larkham with assistance from Dec Ellis, who is unable to play through injury, the Rovers find themselves playing in Perry Street Division 3, 2 levels above where they were playing last season. But they have made an excellent start to the season, having beat old rivals Coombe St Nicholas Reserve 7-2 last Saturday. The Rovers play on the top pitch at the Woodruff School, where matches are rarely called off for a waterlogged surface, but conditions are always very blustery. That did not stop the Seasiders putting in an excellent performance last Saturday against Coombe, with Cody Bowditch hitting 4 goals and the others coming from Joe Bond and talented youngster Josh Daines to keep them in 3rd place in Division 1. Lyme Reserves were on Dorset Intermediate Cup duty at the Davy Fort last weekend, but failed to progress to the next round of the trophy, which they have won 9 times, being beaten 5-1 by a much stronger Upway and Broadway from Dorset Division 1. Lyme First should be back in action tomorrow when they travel over the county border to meet neighbours Colleton in a Devon and Exeter Premier East clash. The Reserves are at home in Division 1 East against Exmouth Rovers, while the Lyme Rovers are away to Shepton Beecham. Upline First snatched 2 goals for a point away to Netherbury in a 2-2 draw, and Upline Reserves lost 7-2 at home to Ilminster Town B last weekend. And now to nautical matters. Lyme Regis Sailing Club members bid farewell to Commodore Jeremy Wallace, who stood down at their annual general meeting last week. He will be replaced by Rob Wiscombe, whose family are synonymous with sailing in Lyme. Mr Wiscombe will preside over the club's 100th anniversary next year. And finally, don't forget this week is Fiverfest in Lyme Regis, with more than 40 local businesses now signed up to offer customers special £5 deals to promote the shop local message. So grab yourself a bargain and have a great weekend.